In this lesson, we'll be focusing on the hiragana with the voice marks. You can see them down the bottom of your hiragana chart. You can see also that they're in columns, and they look exactly the same except for the fact that they just have two dashes on the right-hand side. These can be called ten-ten, or they simply can be called voice marks. These are simply variations of the consonants themselves. We have K, S, T, and H, the columns under which you find these hiragana with voice marks. If I give you the background information, you might be able to remember and understand this better. When we say the letter K, let's have a little look at the human face. This is the tongue in the human face. Obviously, you can see the nose and the lips. When we make the letter K, we're actually making it at the back of the tongue in the throat. The area where we make the letter K is where we're going to make its partner with voice marks, which is simply saying the letter K, but including our voice. So in English, the K on its own is simply a k, 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 as it is in Japanese as well. But if we add our larynx or our voice box to it, and you can feel this if you put your fingers on your neck, if we change it k, 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 and make it a g, g sound, you can see you're making that sound in exactly the same part of your tongue and the back of the throat. But instead this time we're going to have ga instead of ka, gi instead of ki, gu being ku with voice marks, ge, which is what we get from ke when we add the voice marks, and go instead of ko. In some areas of Japan, this is almost like an NG sound, a nga, ngi, ngu. But I've also heard it very clearly spoken as ga, gi, gu, ge, and go. In a very similar way, if we look at the letter S, and we want to see what happens to the letter S with voice marks, we simply need to remember that with the letter S, we're using our teeth. The S sound is made by pushing the air out through our teeth. So we say S. So if we have the letter S, S made between the teeth, if we add our voice to that, it becomes Z, Z. Try putting your hands on your throat and feeling the difference between S and Z. And all it is just adding the voice. And this is exactly what voice marks are telling us, is simply add the voice. So sa with voice marks becomes za. Z, ze, and zo, which all follow the normal pattern of the S and the vowel and voicing. Be careful because she, if we actually put our voice into she, we end up with G. G. So we have za, ji, zu, ze, and zo. The next column to look at is the t column. If you can imagine, we make the letter T. We make the letter T by pushing our tongue up behind our top teeth. T, T, T. Now remember we had chi and tsu in this column as well. Ta, chi, tsu, te, to. We're actually going to take away chi and tsu. There's only a couple of words in the Japanese language that use these letters with voice marks. And to avoid confusion, I think at this point in time we might just remove chi and tsu from the column just to make it easy. So if we have the letter T and we voice that letter, we'll end up with D. D. So we imagine that ta with voice marks would become da. Te with voice marks would become de. And to with voice marks would become do. So the D column then becomes da, de, and do. We then have the H column to deal with. We don't stop the air when we say the letter H. It's just like we blow it directly out of our mouths with a ha, hi, hu, he, and ho. We're not stopping the sound in any way. So if we imagine closing the lips and then saying that sound, it becomes a pa, pi, pu, pe, po. And that's what you get when you add a small circle to the top right-hand side of the hiragana. This is the only letter in Japanese you can make with a small circle is the sound P. So we have pa, pi, pu, pe, po. And I'm sure you can work out now that if p, p, p is not a voiced sound, what do we end up with if we make it voiced? P, p becomes b, as in ba, bi, bu, be, and bo. So simply now, to summarize the voice marks in writing Japanese, we need to look at those 5 columns: K column, S, T, and H. The only column we can put circles on, we must remember, is H to make a pa, pi, pu, pe, po sound. And then, of course, ba, bi, bu, be, bo. So in summary, once again we can look at them with the consonants along the top, the vowels down the side. Ga, gi, gu, ge, go. Za. And the tricky one that we must remember is slightly different. Ji, zu, ze, and zo. Then our column of T is down to 3. We have simply da, de, and do. And our H column is split into 2. First on with the circles pa, pi, pu, pe, and po. And then with the voice marks to put voicing on that sound: ba, bi, bu, be, bo.